Welcome to Hollywood. My name's Larry Hryb, Xbox Live's Major Nelson here with Julia Hardy. Julia, good to see you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Last time we were together, we were at Gamescom.
Yes, that was amazing and super fun.
And now here we are in Hollywood to play Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It's Xbox Live Sessions. We have some special guests.
We do have some very, very special guests. The voice of Lara Croft, Camilla Luddington, is here. And of course, Jonah. We have Earl.
Welcome, guys and girls. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to play the game. The game is out this week.
Yes.
Now, you guys have been obviously working on the game for a long time.
Yes.
You haven't finished it. You haven't played it.
No, I
No.
haven't. No.
They've not sent you a
yet.
copy yet. That's outrageous.
We actually have not been sent a copy.
No, not
We've
yet,
just been
yeah.
discussing
We were
this.
just talking about
We're going to
it.
This
steal
is
some today.
outrageous.
Embarrassing.
I'm sending sternly letters.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
And thanks for tuning in. We're done. No, we're going to play a little bit of the game tonight. We've got, what are we playing right from the top?
I believe so. Well, that's what they've told me. We could be anywhere. We could be anywhere. Do you want to kick it off and we'll chat while we play? What do you want to do?
Yeah, why don't you kick it off? We've got, if you're in the Mixer chat at mixer.com/Xbox, use the hashtag sweepstakes. Submit your questions for Shadow of the Tomb Raider to these guys, and you could win an Xbox One X 1 terabyte bundle.
Nice.
Nice.
I gotta get you one. I need to get you guys some
Yeah,
Xbox action.
Please.
I would love it.
We were just talking about the cool Xbox 360 that you guys each played on. So
All right.
Yeah,
Back
we
in the
had
day.
that back in the day.
back in the day, we need to replace
Yeah.
that. Anyway.
Right,
Right.
let's kick off.
All right, kick off, shall we? We're getting
Shadow
right
of
into the
the
game
Tomb
here.
Raider. It's exciting. I'm excited to play.
I'm excited to play too.
I mean, no
Oh,
pressure,
yeah.
but
This.
like, don't screw it up.
Yeah, we just begin the game in this very relaxing moment.
Right.
I don't
Hanging
need this
out.
when I start a game. I want something really nice and
I
gentle.
also want to point
Ease
out
you
that
in.
not only are we going to hear your voices, but you guys also did the motion capture for your characters, correct?
Right.
We did.
Yeah.
We do the performance capture also. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was actually on a stage.
Okay.
We were
Yes.
sitting on chairs and pretending to shake.
Yeah.
So
There's a
it's
lot
like-
of
it's like-
like
Like
what they call it, the Star Trek like
Yeah.
move.
This-
Yeah, there's a lot of the Star
It's like grown-up make-believe, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
Like a kid's kind of like activity play center, right? You know, like the ones you like to
Right.
take, you like
Yeah.
soft play.
Yeah, except it's hard play for us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Except
But-
be really real about it.
But I mean, that must be so difficult, though. It must be so much easier, like when you're acting in a room and there's like, you know, costumes and everything like that, and then you're just like in a weird empty box, and they're like, okay, so right, you're falling to your death.
Yeah,
Stay with me.
I think that's the biggest challenge actually with
Right.
motion capture is that we don't have a set around us, and we have to. It's
You
a
do
lot of
have, like, I know
make-believe.
sometimes when you need to use weapons or objects, they'll hand you like a stick, right?
Yeah, we've had a
Yeah.
few sticks.
The shooting broom.
We've had
Shooting broom.
we've had
Bring the
like
broom.
dummies stand in for like dead bodies and stuff.
We've had like some weird alien
the
thing.
alien thing for who was that? Was that me or was it?
I feel like it was from like Ready Player One or something,
Oh, wow.
and it was like a leftover prop that we were given to
Right.
like
And what was
act
it
as
supposed
like.
to be?
It could be anybody. It could be like a child that
So
you're
like
talking
Wilson
to.
in that
Me
Tom
go.
Right.
Hanks
So
movie.
It was Wilson. yeah.
Wilson.
You just had to act.
And what's funny is that there are
Wilson!
lots of emotional moments in Tomb Raider, and sometimes you're like,
You're talking.
it's a beanbag that basically looks like an alien with
'Cause
like
it
a
has-
face on it.
The face is drawn on with like permanent
So
marks.
And you're
it's
having to,
literally
like-
Wilson. It's like
It really
I guess
is.
so, yeah.
Wow.
It's over
We didn't
there.
name it. We should have named it.
Wilson.
So you were like
Did they get
crying.
in?
They probably did.
Now, did you guys have a chance when you were doing the mocap, and obviously you saw your characters, to like say, I don't know, or like did you say, hey, how about a little bit more hair or less hair, or how about just you were able to?
Oh, with our look?
Yeah, with your
No,
look.
we don't
No.
have any say
Yeah.
over that.
It's always like, hey, do you want to see your character? And then they show it to us.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And I'm
that's
like-
awesome.
Yeah. Like,
So-
wow,
so-
I've been working out.
Here's the thing I
totally.
think about like games like this, where it's like, you know, when you're so close to sort of dying in like a crevasse or something, and you think like, well, you played this game, and you know, because obviously you're Lara Croft, you managed to get out. So how many kind of dead adventurers must there be for the world stuck in caves?
Well,
They never get out.
it's like
Many, I would assume.
Mount
Many.
Everest for real. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mount
wow.
Everest, you're probably like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
quite disturbing.
So here we are. We're at the top of the game. We're seeing some incredible stuff. Now, you guys did the mocap for the cutscenes.
Were you actually having to shimmy through anything?
This actually, I got to tell you something.
This
Camilla.
I'm not having to shimmy through. No.
This a lot of these moments in the Tomb Raider game, they actually make me, because I have a little bit of claustrophobia.
Right.
Oh, I feel the same way too.
So when I'm watching this, I kind of have to look away sometimes.
This moment especially, because we have seen this part before, obviously, this would freak me out. I would not, mentally, I would not.
Caves.
I can't either.
Anyone who does caves, weirdos.
No, I can't either. So.
And it's just how close everything is. Like, it's like an inch of give around all
And it's
sides.
interesting
Like,
how they capture the feeling of claustrophobia with the camera following her up.
It's very dynamic as well, how it switches and kind of moves around, and it does really give you the feel that there's nowhere to go.
Here we can see a little bit of the mocap
there you
sessions.
go.
I don't know if you guys can see it. And you guys are working together on it. It's tell us. So you've got these suits on, and all of the dots, which is where they do it, and then you're just. And you've got this camera that's inches from your face, right?
And they actually have lights on it to light our face up.
So there's two
it
lights.
it can almost give you a headache after a while. So you have to just kind of like learn to switch it on and off your head.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's very distracting initially when you're first filming.
Right.
Because it's in your peripheral.
Right.
Is it not like, because obviously you need to keep like eye line? Does it not shine like in your eyes, or is it angled?
It's just outside.
It's like
It's
just
just
out.
off of them, yeah.
So we
It's
can still make
just-
eye contact. It's just
But it's constantly there. It's one thing that you get used to.
Yeah.
after 7 years.
Oh God, look, see, this is what I mean. Dead adventurers
know.
all over the shop.
I know.
There's a bunch of them, look.
It's not very.
okay.
So
That's very weird.
we're just to give you guys a level set. We're playing at the top. We're right at the beginning of the game, so it's a little bit of a tutorial. Just to get you reacquainted with Lara and some of her amazing moves, and of course the axe climb.
I really want to go, this game really makes me want to go like ice climbing.
I
with,
know.
Oh no, what am I doing? I also like
That was
way
disastrous.
over press buttons.
Right.
You know, like way more than is really, really
Now
necessary.
here's overhand climb. This is a critical move
Oh,
that you'll
God.
learn.
Yeah, and dislocated shoulder, but yeah.
Now, did you guys actually, particularly you, Camilla, did you have to do any of these hanging off of things, or do they have you do any of that?
No, I don't know how they captured moments like this, or really.
There is a stunt team, so
There is a stunt team, but I don't believe that they do this.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think so.
I'm not sure how that would be an interesting question. I think of that sometimes in the underwater moments.
Yeah.
I know we've joked about wanting to have like a giant pool,
Right.
so that I can actually kind of capture something like that.
Now I want to just if you could just rotate the camera around a little bit here.
Why, of course, Larry.
Look, I mean, you can see
What
some
would
of
you
this.
like to look at?
It may not be coming through on the stream, but this is gorgeous 4K HDR on Xbox One X.
Look at that
They're
slow
God ray.
camera
We
move.
call those God rays. Yeah.
Look at that.
Gorgeous.
God
Look
rays.
at that.
Yeah. And this is inside a cave.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a shiny rock?
Ah.
Oh, look at that.
Shiny rocks.
There you go, even better.
Even more shiny.
We found it too.
It's fun for us watching this back because a lot of this is something that we have to make
Yeah.
up, form with our own imaginations.
Right.
Then when you see it, the end result, it does.
So what was that?
It's
Was that
pretty
like
amazing.
a tower of macaroons or something on a table?
Not, I wish. No,
not even
not
that.
even.
But you'd get
I
the
think-
reaction, wouldn't you, when you picked it up? You'd be like,
That's a good actor.
Oh,
Good actor.
God.
This is literally,
I
I think, like a board. And
This is maybe even just like a wooden pole.
Right.
a wooden pole.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
something that
With some tape on
crazy.
it. that
I
we can- so we
remember
can walk
this.
through it, Yeah. Who's that? See, he has cooler hair than I actually.
All right, we've got a question from
I
the
really
chat.
feel like you should
guys,
do it.
You
Yeah.
guys taking
Yes.
a couple questions from the
Yes,
chat? We have one
please.
from Jack Black 310601,
Okay.
original name. Hashtag sweepstakes. After being part of these games, have you found yourself being more of a risk taker or doing more extreme sports? Camilla, I'll let you answer first.
Less. I think the exact opposite. Once you die 1,000 times in every way possible
Yeah.
doing
Right.
extreme things, it makes me want to go nowhere near anything like this.
I mean, how many different death noises do you think you've made
my.
for this game?
Oh my God, I don't know.
What's the difference?
Hundreds.
Is there a different death noise to being impaled on a spike as it is being squashed under a rock, or is there the
Yes.
same? Ooh, can you remember what they are?
Well, like, if you're impaled, this is so weird. If
There's
you're
more like air coming
impaled,
out, right?
You're like, there's that like
Yeah.
feeling like,
Oh, that's good.
and then if you're being slowly bitten or, sometimes you have to like really drag out that
Right.
noise.
Right.
milk
because
it.
of the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to milk
So here are you guys. Here's your digital versions right here.
Yes.
I've
Jonas
got
trying
to
to
upload
get.
to Instagram.
Yeah.
It's all for the gram. Come on, man.
Yeah.
This is how I get my funding. I don't have tenure anywhere. Oh no, I hate these bits. Panic, panic.
Go to the light.
Make it.
There we are. So yeah, if it's a slightly longer noise,
You want to hear
I
a
really
slight? I know you do. I do. It's more. I thought I was done with this.
No, never.
It's more like.
I can feel that pain.
And by the way, like if you see me do this in a VO booth, I'm like crazy with my arms and I like
It's
reenact.
physical,
It's
very
physical.
flexible.
I have to like feel my way through it. So I look like I'm.
By the way, I love the fact your
crazy.
characters just come out of this, finding this tomb and just escaping this. And you're like, hey, let's go get a drink.
Yeah.
Right?
But to be honest, isn't that exactly what you do while you're having near death experiences? Let's just have a beer and like.
That
forget
is
about
directly
it.
from my life.
Yeah.
No,
Now, Earl, I have to ask you: do you do any extreme sports, or has this inspired you to do anything?
no.
No, just the opposite.
It makes me play more video games.
Right.
This is
Overwatch
interesting.
is not an extreme sport.
This is actually the very first scene we ever shot.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So here we are. Oh yeah, look. So having a beer. So can you remember what was said? Do you reckon you could do some like VO over there?
If you give us the lines.
Ah yes. We don't
you
have
go.
subtitles on.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to remember, there's thousands of lines of dialogue you
Yeah.
guys have done together,
Especially
Yeah.
Camilla. We have
and it just
Yeah.
goes on and on. And
Collectibles and
sometimes
stuff.
some folks may see some of them, or you've got random lines that are in there that
Right.
some people may not
Yeah.
hear. But there's a lot going. But so here we're seeing really the connection of the characters again.
Right.
With
Yeah, and it was fun to actually start with this scene because this is the scene that starts their journey.
right.
And so I think I'm talking about the Maya calendar and constellations.
Looking for the
and
pink fish.
Right.
Right.
Pink fish, yeah.
We're basically debriefing what happened
Peru.
in the previous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Darkest Soldier from the chat over at mixer.com/Xbox wants to know, was it easy for you guys to get into character for the game? Bro?
I think so. I mean, especially when we're talking about Shadow. I mean, I've been playing Jonah for 6-7 years now.
Right.
So
8,
years.
2010.
2010. Oh my gosh.
Thank God you're here.
I know. Sorry. 8 years.
Yeah. You
But-
blocked the first few years out.
They don't exist.
It was traumatic.
But I think he permanently has a residence in the back of my head somewhere at this point.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I can imagine. And Camilla, you
It's the same. I mean, I think
Yeah.
at this point it's really strange because there are a year's break between games,
Right.
and then when we get together, it's kind of like we pick back up where we left off. And yeah, we've sat with these characters for a long time now. It
Right.
feels like second nature.
Do you feel like Lara Croft is like your posh phone voice? You know when you like answer the phone to like someone you don't know who it is, and everyone puts that slightly posher, but like
Yeah.
Like another
Does
bit
anybody
of their-
answer the phone anymore? We're all texting.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes you do like you go around to
Or
your parents' house or whatever, and the phone.
your
and you're like,
voicemail.
oh hello.
Do you know what is funny is that fans have stopped me and asked me to record their voicemail
Oh,
as
nice.
Lara Croft.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, which is some of the weirdest things you have to do. Like,
Do they ask for a
"Hi,
line?
it's-"
And how do you make it? How do you make it Lara Crofty?
I mean, I think my accent in real life. Like, no. The accent, like I feel like my English accent is a lot thicker here than it is in real life because now I've played an American character on TV for coming up to 7 years.
Right.
So in real life, it's like sort of this mesh of like both accents. So I just have more of my Lara voice.
Yeah. So you obviously have to like mentally change your voice to sound like that. It's not natural.
Yeah, I mean, at this
Scary.
point, it's back and forth. I mean, for Grays, I have to think about my American accent, and here I just slip back into my Brit. I think about it more, for sure.
All right, so we're cooking along here.
I know. I want to see what they're cooking over here because it looks delicious, and now I'm hungry. What is it?
I don't know.
That's a vegetable.
Corn on there.
Another question from the chat over on Mixer. Is there any interesting tidbits of South American or Mesoamerican culture you learned while making the game?
Not to put you on the spot, but what can you remember?
I feel like it's a lot of it for me is the mythology, and I don't know if we want to spoil anything.
Right, of course, don't do that.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, also doing, I mean,
You
it
did a lot
feels
of
like
the social
hundreds,
stuff,
yeah,
yeah.
lots of hours of collectibles, and those are really interesting little
Yes.
tidbits that you pick up, and
I-
again, the myths of
Yeah.
like the twins and the monkey twins, I believe, is like one of them. But anyway, I don't want to spoil anything. But
Yeah.
yeah, the mythology is really interesting.
I also want to point out that when you recorded these lines, it was 3 years ago, right? It was quite some time ago.
No,
no.
some of these are recent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right before E3, some of them.
Oh, wow.
Really? Up until then?
Wow.
Yes, yeah. It's usually you are sort of, there's like tiny adjustments that are happening.
Sure.
Up until the release, and so we kind of go in and do a few lines here and there. I mean, most of this obviously has been captured over the past couple years, but sometimes we go in and we do VO.
Rewrites, ADR stuff.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself, this question is directly from the chat as well, do you find your, Shih Tzu on you asks, do you find yourself playing more video games now that you're a part of this industry?
You know what? This is interesting for me just because before I was in the first Tomb Raider, I had stopped playing video games a little bit.
Sure.
And then when the first Tomb Raider came out, well, 2013 came out, like it kind of vaulted me back into everything. I started a Steam account.
Right.
And then I started buying things.
Right.
So yeah.
All of a sudden you're in, and I imagine
Back
all of your work, you don't have a lot of time, do you?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I wish I had more time, but I haven't really had the opportunity to. So I'm super biased. I wait for our game to come out and then I have a go at that.
Right.
I do have to say though that before I had no idea what it took to make a video game and behind the scenes of it and the process and how many years it took. And so now I do find myself really checking out other video games.
Right,
and
because you're looking at it from a completely different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know the competition too.
Is it weird, like, you know how, like, when you work in a particular industry, like, if you work in, like, you can't, like, watch TV shows in quite the same way. Is it the same now for games?
Yes,
You're, like,
for me.
You're listening to the voice acting going, like,
Yes.
I could probably do better than that.
Yes, I wonder how that was captured, what their process was.
If they mocapped it at all, or
Yeah,
it's all booth work. Or...
you can't help.
No.
I actually think about it more than I do TV shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do,
Okay,
yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, it's interesting because I've been in the business for about 20 years now, and back then we were just making the transition from 2D to 3D to these real worlds, and we didn't have the character development.
Yeah.
And then in the mid-2000s onward to now and beyond, we're seeing, because of great actors and actresses like yourself, we're seeing you guys bring those characters to life instead of just pixels.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's pretty cool. Like people can actually commiserate or just empathize with the characters on screen instead of just projecting what they feel. You know?
Yeah, I feel like they are more invested because of that.
So CD87 says, what are your earliest memories of Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
I think you posted some pictures. It's funny because I haven't seen pictures of us in a long time from those early days when we were on the Endurance.
Right.
And
with
you
the full
and
cast.
Earl it's you posted pictures, right?
Yeah,
or fans? I figured it was you. Okay. And so I think those early days when the whole crew was there.
Right.
So Roth and Alex and Sam, all
We
of
were
us
all
together.
and there was a big cast, so it was scenes with a lot of people. It was really chaotic. And
But those were really fun because those were our first few days shooting the Tomb Raider new reboot, the franchise. So everyone was just super geeky.
Was it kind of, it must be like, when you finally, obviously, you went for the job, you didn't know what it was for, like, originally, right?
Yeah.
Right.
When you went, and then obviously you get the kind of call saying you're doing it, and then all of a sudden you're on set, like, with everyone.
Yeah.
You kind of like, that must be, I don't know, because it's all very well someone saying like, yeah, like you're doing this job, but then suddenly you get there and it's like, and then suddenly there you're doing it, and what was kind of your reaction? What were you thinking?
I think one of the most fun parts of those early days is that we used to have, because we didn't really have it with this game, we used to have
sorry, I was
big
supposed to be playing the
flat.
game when I was too
We had big flat screens around the volume,
Yeah.
which is the stage in
Right.
which we shoot. And so
Yeah.
as soon as we got mocapped in and we walked onto that stage, we were able to see our characters.
Oh, in real time.
Yeah.
In real time, and so
Or at least
it
like a
was like
maquette
this
version.
bizarre moment where you're seeing your avatar,
Yeah.
and that was really
Now, is
exciting.
it fully rendered versions
Yeah,
of you,
like-
or is it more of like a marionette?
No, they're pretty. They were pretty rendered at
Wow.
that point.
Yeah, they have basic shapes, like the basic shape of the characters
Sure.
there.
But they would slowly get their outfits, like as
Right.
the time went on. So you'd walk out, and then you would see more of you.
Right.
But it was pretty incredible.
It was.
I didn't know
With my
that
hair.
you could see that when you were first shooting.
Now, one of the things about the Tomb Raider games, as you play them, is, you know, we have this thing in video games that you may or may not be aware of called the HUD, the heads-up display. It's the elements, and it's really clean, so it's really immersive. And I know, Earl, you don't have a lot of time to play games, and Earl, I know you play some games, so that's got to be. I think it's great to see. It really helps.
I think when I played Tomb Raider 2013, one of the things I remarked to myself about was the HUD,
Right.
and like how clean it was, and just I like the general design aesthetic of that they've kept throughout all 3 games.
Yeah.
So it is pretty awesome.
All right, where are we
Great.
here?
Although I really want to go back to that party because that looked well fun.
I know.
Right?
Well,
This looks less fun. This looks quite stressful.
You could do this or margaritas.
I know.
I mean,
Right? It's
I
like,
would
do you want
naturally
this? Tequila.
gravitate towards.
The tequila.
Margaritas,
Yeah, I know.
now let's look at the tip. Hit the stick. Hit the right
sorry, I
stick.
was
You
not-
get your objective beacons if you need a little help. Do a little wall scramble action. Cut to Camilla mocap.
Whee!
Well, I did not have to jump. Thank God.
Now, you made a comment earlier, Camilla, that they really buffed Lara up in this in this game, didn't
They
they?
did.
Well,
Yes,
after
I
Lizzie
was very-
Vikander's abs, I mean, come on.
I know.
Jeez.
I know. What's funny is though, is I started shooting the 3rd game like literally after I'd given birth.
Right.
So this is not anywhere near what I look like. But no, yeah, she got a little. She's been working out.
She has.
I love it.
I mean, was it quite fun? Obviously, I presume you've seen like the Tomb Raider film, and obviously they took so much. Obviously, it was just all the biggest set pieces were
was
taken
bizarre.
from the first 2 games. It must have been really odd to watch it. For
It
you
was
guys.
really odd because I had forgotten some of those moments too, and then I felt like I was going back to Yamatai.
Right.
Yeah.
But there were definitely things that are different. Like some of the characters are missing, but some of the moments are felt like exactly like the game.
Oh, a little
which is really
violence, yeah.
strange.
That little part on the plane where she's
Yes.
trying to not to make it fall off. It's
Yeah,
super surreal.
with the pilot. Yeah, I
Right.
was like, oh my God, yeah, that's so crazy.
Oh God, I can't see what.
So there's signature arrows coming up. Oh, we're gonna go for the headshot, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Why would you
Wowza
go for anything
browser.
but a headshot?
Well, I'm just.
Brutal.
Best. Come with me if you want to
I was
live.
gonna say that.
Yeah.
Come with me if you want to live.
Yeah, he's definitely going to tell her the information now.
Yeah.
Watch a little bit of cutscenes here. If you're just tuning in, we're playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider on Xbox One X. We have the voice of Lara Croft with Miss Camilla Luddington with us, and Earl Baylor, who I got to tell you, Earl, I'm a big fan of yours. After playing all the game, I'm a fan of both of you guys, but I really.
Yeah, what are you going to say?
I'm not saying Camilla, no. But I'm just saying, in this
Literally
game,
right here.
in this game, we get to really
Insulting.
hear more of your stylings. I'll just say that.
Your musings.
Yes, there are lots of Earl musings. And Jonah now.
Well, it is cool that like
Lovely.
you get to see a little more of his backstory. That's awesome.
It's funny because when we went to Comic-Con, I swear no one cared about me, and everyone
That's not
Really?
true.
loved Earl. They loved Jonah. He has his separate fan club for sure.
I totally stacked the audience. I really did.
I think you did. I had my suspicions.
I was like, guys, be here.
Yeah.
This is so cool.
We are we're learning. So this is kind of right at the beginning of the game. The game's available this week on Xbox One. It looks fantastic on Xbox One X. It's enhanced. It has HDR. It has 4K. You can actually choose between frame rate or graphics.
It'll even make you a cup of tea if you ask it nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can make we've got a bundle. If you're joining us, head over to mixer.com/Xbox and you can enter using the hashtag sweepstakes. Submit a question.
No.
You could win a Shadow of the Tomb Raider Xbox One X 1 terabyte bundle, with obviously a copy of Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and you can become Lara Croft yourself, just like Camilla.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I was not listening to anything you were saying just then because it was a particularly difficult bit.
Yeah, I remember this version. This.
Thank you for not killing me. I'm very happy about
Whoa!
that. Spoke too soon.
Are you drunk, Lara? You should have had that beer earlier.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really affecting.
Cerveza earlier back in the village.
What,
You know when you just don't think you're going to make it,
Yeah.
and then suddenly it's fine. It's all fine. It's all fine. Right, okay, this way.
are you on medium, normal difficulty?
Oh, she's getting outed.
No.
Are you on easy?
I don't know.
She's playing easy
I
mode.
I didn't set up
What?
my own angle.
Is this
okay?
easy
I don't know.
mode?
They just handed me.
I just gave me the controller. Oh, yeah. Whee! Scrabble, scrabble, scrabble. I'm one of these people that always way over presses all of the buttons. I get far too. I'm like,
Yeah, that's what I do. When I panic, it's just all buttons
I still do
at
this.
once.
All the buttons at once.
I do
Where you
that
going?
too.
I don't know where I'm going. I was panicking.
Okay.
I think, if I remember correctly, you
I
should
think
be
you
heading
rappel
towards the
down.
skull,
Yeah.
right?
But is that up or down? Wait, no, it was
You want to
yeah.
rappel down?
Yeah.
And
There we
across.
You-
Oh, yeah, I'm
you
doing
do the
one.
wall
That's
run.
what I'm doing.
Okay. See, this is.
I love how I'm
Teamwork.
just like, just go across. What's the big deal? Just go across.
Mind the barnacles.
I think you have to swing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I love how it gives you the tip once you figure out you have to wall run.
Like, yeah, thanks for that. That's useful. Just get an extra one in, just for good measure.
Don't kill her.
Don't
Don't
die,
kill
don't
her.
die, don't die. Oh,
Ah, all right, there we go. Well
Perfect.
done.
9.986.
there we go. This is good. Look at this. I mean, that
I
is
know,
such
I
a
love it.
shot. Woohoo. Here we go. So I think I'm going to rappel down and then swing into this little,
I think so.
into here.
Yeah.
And then I think we can get a
that-
little bow and arrow action going in a minute, I think.
When you guys have such a length of time between characters,
Right.
between the games, how do you get back into character? Do you play the old games? Do you go back and listen to some of your?
Actually, they do play.
Yeah.
They do play me some
Right.
of the old game. Yeah. What about you? Do they ever?
I don't think they may have. I think they did that for Rise. They gave me a little bit of a reference, just as
Yeah. This is what you
This is
sounded
what
like.
you
Just to
sounded
kickstart you.
Yeah. But I have kind of a trigger word.
Oh, you do?
Oh, what's your trigger word?
It's Laura.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that's where I know where to be, like resonance-wise.
that's
That's your
funny.
foundation that gets
Yeah,
you started.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay.
so
It's like
funny.
if you need to do South African, it's always diplomatic immunity from a lethal weapon.
Oh. That's our new.
I'm sorry, I
trigger
didn't pick
word.
that up.
Okay. Okay.
Diplomatic immunity.
That's
Diplomatic
great that you
immunity.
have a trigger word. That's smart.
Okay, so what do
Okay.
we? Well, we got a little. Okay, you can take. Are you
I'm gonna
taking
play
it?
a little bit.
You play a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna have some
Actually, I
fun
don't
with
want-
some bows and arrows. Obviously, for health and safety reasons.
Wow.
Okay.
We are not going to use real bows and arrows because
Yeah.
that would be slightly
We've used
dangerous.
enough of those.
What are we going to do with the bows and
Lot of-
arrows?
We're going to fire them at this. Well, we're not. These guys are going to
Okay.
fire it at this target
Okay.
over there, right?
Oh.
All right.
Because obviously you had to do some
Past
like,
us?
proper archery. Who wants to go
Yeah.
first?
I'll
Ladies
have a
first.
go.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm just going to hold on to this. It's my little
If you're just tuning in, this is archery television.
yes. All archery all,
All the time.
day.
Okay. So where am I aiming for?
So
Okay,
you're
over
aiming
there.
up there.
Actually, here, let me.
You have to lick the end. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
Larry's going to lick.
Little bit of
where
it.
I
There we
don't
go.
want
To
to
be
do that.
honest.
There we go.
Okay. Oh wow, this is a little.
This is.
We're not used to quite this quality. No. Ooh.
Oh.
We knocked it from up though with some drink in it. So I feel like that is 200 points right there.
Well
Okay, go
done.
on, go
There's
on.
some
Earl.
coffee spilt over the other
Should we
side.
do two each?
Sure.
Okay, now we've had a practice.
Best of. Now
one.
that you've had a practice.
This
Has anyone
is-
actually hit this thing yet?
I don't know.
Okay, hang on.
Okay.
Apparently one of our production staff has.
Here she goes.
Oh.
That
Not
was
bad.
good.
Not bad.
That was good.
I was getting
I feel like
close.
the
was like a
target is
headshot.
very small for the size.
It's
of the
very
thing.
small.
It is ridiculously small.
I mean, it's much smaller. Right.
At least
Right.
I got a little
Okay.
bit closer.
It was good. I think knocking the coffee over was the high point.
That, yeah.
I mean, that was on purpose, obviously.
Exactly. Right next to like, oh,
Oh, it's stuck.
Ow.
Stuck.
I think I'm at a better angle.
Yeah.
That's what-
don't put yourself down. Come on, some skill.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So what,
Pretty
what do you
close.
think? I feel like you got one to stick, but I really feel like the coffee was the high point.
I think
Yeah.
Coffee was intentional.
coffee was a
absolutely.
bonus.
I mean,
I
if
feel
you
like
can
Camilla was
destroy
actually
something-
closer
Should
to
we
the
have another
target.
go?
You
Can we
can
have
have
another go? Hang on. Now we've done like, that was just a joke. These are actually kind of fun. I'm going to get one.
No.
I should have.
I was like going to
You're
hand
gonna
it to you
need-
the other
you're
way,
gonna need-
like
Yeah.
it's pointy and dangerous.
You're gonna need one of these when you're doing mocap.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here
let's
comes
have
here comes
more
one of
go.
those moments that. Make,
Oh, I don't. Oh, the
Oh,
eel.
this one's broken.
why did it have to
little
be
bit.
eels?
Eel.
Okay, come on, let's have one more go.
Swimming always
These are
makes
fun.
me really, really, really
Okay.
anxious.
Why?
I don't. What's underwater swimming? Because you're going to drown.
Wow.
Wow.
getting
Oh my
closer.
God.
I broke
Wow.
You
I did
literally
break
broke
it.
the arrow.
it. Okay, hang on.
That's amazing.
I know.
I'm like halfway.
I've had a
halfway
lot of
worried about,
practice.
like-
Camilla Luddington, she is an archerist.
Woo! Look, but can
Look
I
at that.
can I just say, look. That is dead on straight.
I know.
Dead on straight.
I'm getting
You
better.
only
Look
get
at
one because she broke the
It's
other.
all right. That's all I
Sorry,
need.
Earl.
Yeah.
That's all. It's,
You know what you need.
Just tune in. This is Xbox Live Sessions.
Is it?
We're playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider with
a
Earl
real
Baylon and
bow and
Camilla
arrow.
Luddington. And I'm gonna hopefully not kill Lara Croft in here. 'cause
I mean, I don't know.
Please
It's-
don't. Oh, see, this is one of those scenes that was.
yeah, this one made
okay,
me
go
really
on
crazy.
now.
sorry.
Oh.
I am trash at this.
I'm sorry, but
are
you
just-
100% aced this. You are Lara Croft. I mean, you were already, but now you're extra Lara.
I'm very proud.
yeah.
Just
Of
made
my
her out of- I
skills.
got her
Okay.
out of the water.
Okay, good stuff. Team
All right.
work there, team effort.
Congratulations on that, by the way. Well done. This is fun.
This is really fun.
This is
I'm gonna
I,
get.
I would happily chase someone firing arrows at them with that.
yeah.
Need one
Alright.
of those at home, just
Okay,
for
this-
like security.
All right.
Okay, so
Okay, that looks friendly.
yes.
We're gonna take a pause here for a minute,
Yeah?
shall we?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
let's do that.
Shall we?
Shall
Okay.
we? Shall
Earl,
we?
you're gonna step out from Lakes. We have a
All
space.
right.
We got a trailer first, so you're not
Okay.
going
Don't
anywhere
go
yet.
yet.
Got it.
But we have a trailer first that we're gonna play here. We're gonna do a little reset. So what
Okay.
trailer are we looking at? Do you know?
I think it's for the console.
Oh.
It's very exciting, and I've seen it live in the flesh, and if I can steal it, I will.
Yes. Here we go. Take a look at it.
Pretty cool.
Right, how many of these are there, and can I have one?
Hold on.
Yes.
All right, sorry.
Hold on.
I know it's not just about me.
We have to introduce Rich. Rich Briggs?
That's correct.
Rich, good to see you. Now tell us what you do on the team.
I am the senior brand director at Crystal Dynamics.
And so this is part of your brand.
This is just such an amazing thing. I was so happy to partner with you guys
Yeah.
to bring this to life. It is absolutely, I just think, one of the best consoles that has ever been made.
Now, Camilla, you've seen this. Isn't this stunning?
I just saw this today for the first time, and I'm most excited about this lighting up, right? And,
It lights
and having
up.
an apocalypse.
Can we light it up?
What?
We don't
Can
have the
we? We
power
don't have the
cord.
We need to get a
Yeah.
power cord in here.
Power
This
cord
is-
in there.
But this is incredible, I know. And then I complained for about an hour that I didn't have one.
And it comes with the controller. You've got the vines on here, so I think just masterful work.
It
It's
really feels, it's an Xbox One X.
It is, and it just
World's most powerful console.
We're just gonna touch it.
brings you into
Yeah.
the
Can
world
I
like never
hold it?
before. Please, yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful
Yeah.
though. That's
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
the question is, how do people get one of these?
Well, there's a couple different ways. There's very limited versions of them. We did one that we partnered with you guys
Yep.
on that Best Friends auction, which
Yep.
was amazing. We raised
Yes.
over $10,000
Very
Yeah.
excited
for,
about
That's
that.
for
amazing.
charity. And I guess today,
Yeah.
these people who are asking wonderful questions are
If you're in
going
the
to get to one.
Yeah, if you're in the
Give
chat
us
at
TV
mixer.com/Xbox and you're asking questions using the hashtag sweepstakes, you could win one of this. This is a very rare item.
Very
Yeah.
Right.
I'm doing my QVC.
you
I'm
do.
doing
Yeah.
my QVC right now.
Here's the eclipse.
You're doing delightful.
And the vines.
So they're actually going to win a bundle. They're actually going to win the 1 terabyte bundle, which is
This is-
lovely. Of course, a copy of the game and so forth. So let's throw this on the table
It's
here.
like a piece
Yeah.
of art.
And then,
It is.
Rich, we've been making our way through the game here.
Very well, I may add.
Yeah, well, Julie's been
Haven't
playing.
died yet.
But there's a couple things I want to talk to you about. One is photographer mode.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So photographer mode is actually a fan request.
Yeah.
People have always said that the world of Tomb Raider has just felt like you're on this adventure with Lara, thanks in part to Camilla's amazing performances. But we just wanted to give the fans the ability to capture their moments
Yeah.
and share them with the rest of the
Do you wanna-
world.
Do you want to show us?
Right. So if you go into the photographer mode, then you have a bunch of different controls that you're able to use where you can frame Lara's moments, put on filters. I am by
I
no
think that's
means
so
an
cool.
accomplished photographer, but you can
don't
go
need to be.
through and
I mean,
change the brightness, change the saturation.
There are whole Instagram accounts for video game photographers, like who just literally go through games.
Absolutely.
I mean, you spend all this time creating these like incredibly beautiful worlds, and that the amount of times you stand on a ledge and you're overlooking the sea or
Right.
something like that, and you're like, I just want to live in this moment
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
So now you can kind of keep those.
And I see you putting the filters on.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
put the filters on, you can put the borders on, and then you just share them with the world.
But I want to point something out that was really subtle here is you didn't like exit the game and go into photo mode.
Yeah.
The
No.
game paused.
Correct.
You went into photo mode, and then when you unpause the game, just pick up and play again.
Absolutely.
And you can take hundreds of pictures, right?
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I can jump right in and then take my moment, and now I'm out. I'm back in the game. So
And it's also important to point out is that we're playing the Xbox One X. If you have an Xbox One X, there's a couple of different modes you can play the game in. Explain the 2 different modes.
that's correct. So we're all
show
about
us?
we're all about giving our fans options. So if you want to play the game in what we call high frame rate mode, which is what we've been playing on today,
Yeah.
that will give you 1080p,
Yeah.
and we unlock the frames. So
Off
it's
it goes.
north of 30 frames per second. We actually target 60 frames per second. That's
Wow.
going to give you that silky smooth gameplay that
Yeah.
you're really going to notice for the most part in combat. And then you can do it on the fly. If you want to go into high resolution mode,
Yeah.
that is going to give you
that.
native 4K resolution. We lock it at 30 frames per second, but it just gives you all the bells and whistles. It just turns on all the technical enhancements that we can possibly throw at it so that you've got the most lush, the most realistic version, Lara Croft in native 4K.
And I want to point out, I've played this version or that type, that kind of that feature on similar games where you actually have to reboot the game.
Yeah,
You
this-
guys,
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
goes back and forth.
It
as you
is
said.
on the fly, so we want people to be able to play. And what I personally do is I play in the native 4K
Yep.
all along. I like to experience the world, and then when I get into combat, switch over to the high frame
Let's do
rate.
that.
Yeah. So
By the way, we have not killed her yet.
does
so
that
we
mean
have-
If you
that the
kill her, we're gonna be
pressure
really
is
cross.
on?
Yeah,
I want to
exactly.
hand the
Yeah.
controller back. I don't want that
Julie,
kind
this
of
is-
yeah. I
Oh,
don't want
I
that
see.
kind of pressure. You know?
I got
Play
through
the
it.
game. Come on, man.
It's-
Oh, God, I'm definitely going to die here. This bit's really difficult.
No,
This
it's
part-
not.
And this is a tough spot, but we did want to make sure that as
Oh, I do
usual,
remember this one.
as usual, we want to make sure that the puzzles and the traversal feel very grounded in reality. So
Right.
this is all about counterweights and balancing, and we like to have these environmentally realistic puzzles as much as possible, so that you feel like they could all actually happen in the world.
And just like in real life, I would fall off the edge and plummet.
You're doing
My
really
death.
well. You're doing really well. You notice I'm not going to let myself be the one who kills Lara Croft while Camilla is sitting right next to me.
She already did,
So
some
It's
of the-
very weird watching Ashley because like she ducked earlier and I instinctually went like this, like to duck with her, and I'm like, well, I'm not in the game.
Yes, you are.
Yes, please. I don't know why I'm collecting stuff. I always do that when you like play through on like you're not actually playing for real and
Well,
you end
it-
up like collecting everything.
But
I'm
it's
like, why am I
habit,
doing
yeah.
that?
It's just we make it
God,
number one.
that's-
It's easy for you, and number two, I think that what we like to do is make sure that there's plenty along the main path, so you feel like okay, I'm accumulating things. But we also want to reward the people who are going off the beaten path, and that's one of the joys. If you want that 100%, you've got over 30 hours of work in front of you because
Yeah.
there is just a ton of collection, a ton of side quests, a lot of optional content, and of course that's challenge tunes as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, Julia is playing right now. We're trying to solve a puzzle with the counterweights. And there's a lot of
Absolutely.
these different types of puzzles. Obviously, that's the nature of the Tomb Raider, to get through to get to your objective.
Absolutely. So you're going to be in a space often throughout the game, and like you are right here, where people haven't been there in a really long time. So
Oh, no,
there's a
no,
path.
don't do that.
That was close.
God.
There's a path that you have to follow, but you also have to recognize that.
Oh!
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Do we need to be quiet? Is this distracting you? Because you're
No,
making me
it's
nervous.
fine.
here.
Yeah, she's making me very.
You've got a place where people haven't been in hundreds, if not thousands of years,
Right.
and so the things aren't working the way that they should, right? And we always like to think of the world as a character. It is a test. You know, Lara Croft is at her most capable. She has never been more skilled than she is in Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So we have to up the stakes across the board, and that
No,
includes the
no.
traversal. So you're doing a great job of making my point for me that the traversal, the platforming has to be a challenge.
Let's talk about what's your favorite new feature in this game for the Tomb Raider series?
Well, oh goodness, there's so much. I mean, if you're talking about just the visceral reaction to coating yourself with mud and
Right.
then going, you know, that Predator Rambo fantasy in the jungle, I love that when you come into the
we've all done
combat.
that of a weekend.
You know, it gets all up in my hair. It's terrible. I can never wash
Yeah.
it out. But I would
But
say
your
that.
skin looks amazing.
Well, thank you, thank you. There are practical benefits to it as well. But I think in terms of just features that we added that we had always wanted to do throughout the franchise and never really could until Shadow of the Tomb Raider was something the fans were asking for. There's a group called Growl, Get Rid of White Ledges, and they really wanted to remove all the white markings that show you where to go in the environment.
Really?
And so we basically changed the difficulty system so you can do it. You can do it. No, you can do it. Come on, you can do
So
it.
I want to pause for a second because if you look at, you can see a little bit of the white markings up
You
here. on
can
the left.
there, and that's because we're playing on the normal difficulty.
Okay.
But we made it so that you can actually change the difficulty of 3 different factors of the game independently. You
Right.
can change your combat,
Can
you
you
can
go to the
change
slider
your
and show that?
puzzles, and you can change the navigation. So if you go into the options, and then you go into the difficulty, you can see that we now have independent sliders. So if you change the top one, they'll all go uniformly, but you could go in and say, hey, I want really tough combat. I don't want the enemies to,
that's
you know,
really nice,
they'll all
actually,
have helmets and Laura's health will
Yeah.
regenerate and you'll have, you know, fewer resources available. But I really want an easy puzzle. And then Laura will give you a lot of hints. You know, Camilla will tell you, hey, here's what I need to do. Here's
So
what
it's
I want
not
to do.
the core puzzle doesn't change.
The core
just
puzzle don't
hinting
change, the
does.
hinting will.
I see.
And then the exploration will decrease or increase the amount of markings and survival instinct that you have at your disposal.
Interesting.
So
And then obviously you can just go through and like change the settings.
absolutely.
I mean, and that at its core is really the 3 tenets of a Tomb Raider game: the combat, the exploration,
Exploration
and
and
the
a puzzle.
puzzles.
And so we want to give you, again, much like playing the graphic version that you want, you can now customize every part of the game to make sure that you're having the experience you want.
Question from the chat over at mixer.com/Xbox using a hashtag sweepstakes. Are we expecting any more modes like the past titles? Are we expecting? I think you mean, can we expect?
I think that person is onto something.
Okay.
We actually have a couple of things that we have announced. We have New Game Plus, also a request where after you finish the main game, you go in, you keep all your skills, but we've actually added things called paths where you will unlock new ways to play the game.
Okay.
And then we also have DLC coming.
Sure.
So we have 7 different months, 7 different paths where you have a challenge tomb, you have you have co-op that you can play 5 of the 7 with, and then you get a new skill, a new weapon, a new outfit. So we have lots more stories to tell in the universe.
I mean, if you want to make it really, really, really difficult, you could just try and play the game blindfolded. I mean, if you want a real challenge,
There is blind.
don't use your eyes.
I bet you that's a challenge to somebody out there. Someone out
I
there
feel
is
like that
now
should be
going
a
to
Twitch
stream
stream.
themselves. They're going to stream
I'm going to play
themselves.
Tomb Raider from start to finish, not using
Blindfolded.
my eyes.
Voodoo GTS asks, and I'm going to answer this. Feel free to jump in. Does this game take full advantage of the Xbox One X? Yes. 4K.
It ignores it completely.
In 4K HDR. Don't listen to her.
Doesn't even.
I would
look
go
at
so
it.
far as to say it takes more than full advantage. I mean, it's 110% of the power.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us that.
Yeah, we
10%.
just want to, you know, and this is one of the many games that just shows off the power of the console and the fact that you guys decided to take that extra inch and go, hey, we're going to give the gamers what they want. Do they want fidelity or frame rate? And they can choose, as you showed earlier, on the fly. And that's something they
Absolutely,
should check out.
absolutely. And then things like true HDR support, you know, the true 3D audio with Dolby Atmos.
With Atmos all everywhere.
You've got better foliage. I mean, these are all types of things that we're always looking to bring the world to life. Again, the world is a character. The world is pushing back on Lara. And we want to make sure that you have the most immersive experience possible. So when you're in the jungle,
Oh, here it goes!
Death!
First death! Oh.
That was 100%.
We're going to have a moment of
that was
silence.
a tough
That
one.
hurt.
You okay, Camilla?
I
Are you okay?
Now, what's interesting is that was one
Okay.
of the rare ones where it was
I'm
she
alive
just
again.
fell into the abyss. She wasn't
Yeah.
impaled, or I mean,
Yeah.
we assumed she
No.
was.
I'm actually
just
happy about
you
that.
feel
Yeah.
it every time she dies.
I
You get,
did.
like,
I did
weird,
a little-
like, thing on the back of your neck where you're like, oh God, she's died again.
Yeah.
So internet.
Yes,
be
I
careful.
know.
It's
When
like
you've
when an
killed
angel
me, I
loses
know.
its wings.
Right.
Like Camilla loses a tiny bit of herself every time Lara
God.
dies. So please don't kill Lara. people.
Come on.
There we go.
But we want you to have that immersive experience. We want you to feel like you're in a jungle or in a tomb in ways like never before. So we're always pushing as hard as we can to take full advantage of the Xbox One X capabilities. And I'm really happy that we were able to bring that new tech in.
Yeah, it plays just so much fun. I mean, it's one of those games as you're playing. Oh. There's a lot of elements to the game as we saw earlier.
Because that's actually one of part of the difficulties when you change it. The speed of which you have to hit X if something goes wrong is quicker or
Absolutely.
slower.
Good
That's actually
point.
quite
Yes.
interesting.
So if you increase
So-
the difficulty, you have less reaction time.
Yeah, I'm like just casually because I know I've got bags of time. I've got bags of
Bags
time.
of time.
Bags of time.
That's a good phrase. I've never heard that before.
What, bags of time?
Bags of time.
Yeah, like just like a whole duffel bag.
There's a movie in there somewhere.
Bags of time.
Bags of time.
About an old lady traveling through time.
And she has a bag.
Is that the same in?
Getting back to Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I digress
Terribly.
terribly.
Question: Are the Xbox from the chat? Operation Algonquin wants to know: Are the X enhancements available for us that have the Lara Croft edition? I think that's what it says.
Oh, if you have the Croft edition,
Yeah, Croft
absolutely yes.
Okay.
So if you're playing on
Available
Xbox
for
One X, then yes,
Yeah.
you have got all the enhancements, all the modes, everything.
And
All the magic.
also, did I imagine this when I started playing the game that basically it said because I played the old game, I get different costumes
That
and
is
stuff like
correct. That is correct. We want to make sure that we're doing a couple of things with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Yes, it is absolutely a great jumping on point because you are seeing Lara Croft's defining moment. So all of our new fans, welcome, jump on board. But we're
Yeah.
also rewarding our fans who have been there from the beginning. So if you have played Tomb Raider 2013 or Rise of the Tomb Raider, you will unlock a ton of different outfits that Lara collected in those games. Because the way we look at it, you're basically on this adventure with Lara, and this is part of the canon. She has been collecting these as part
So
of her
it makes sense.
adventures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question in the chat for Camilla:
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Do you have any real life fighting or hiking experience, other than the rubber tipped arrow?
I actually did. Did you do archery in England? Did you take archery in school?
No, I think we
didn't?
went on
Okay.
like a field trip once to like some sort of
Okay.
Motte and Bailey castle and they made us do it or something. Yeah. Motte and Bailey castle, yes.
Archery was offered as a sport in my high school, and so that is something that I did. I actually started it probably in like 6th grade, very young. So I have a little archery experience, but hiking like this,
Yeah.
no, I have not climbed up the side.
I mean, that's quite extreme.
It's a bit extreme.
So I find this is like a really interesting point in the game. Obviously, she's taking this dagger so that Trinity won't get it, but accidentally causes the Mayan apocalypse. Okay, so I'm going to
As
throw
you
this
do.
question to all of you. What's the one kind of inane thing that you've done that's had like loads of terrible ramifications? Is there anything that you've done that was seemingly just like, oh, I just did a thing, and then it was like a really terrible decision? Like maybe a haircut. Mine's mainly just a haircut.
Really? I'm trying to think.
My aunt gave me a perm with a fringe. I'm still living
Photos.
Still living this down now. That was a terrible decision that seemed quite anonymous.
I don't know about you, Camilla. I don't know if I've ever
trying
done
to,
something that had the scale of triggering the Maya apocalypse. I've
Well, I mean,
made
maybe not
plenty
that
of bad
great.
decisions.
Right.
But like, you know, never like
Something regrettable.
or like.
Well, I've got a list a mile
you know,
long, but
we're-
I'm not about to go over it on the stream.
I'm sort of censoring in
Yeah,
my
right?
head.
Yeah, so
Like,
no,
not
I'd
that
be
one.
sacked for that
Can't
one.
say that
no.
one.
Ask me in 5 minutes, and it would have been answering that question.
Oh wait, I'm supposed to kill this guy. Yeah, okay, yeah.
So we're learning a little bit of the new the vine wall movement here.
Yes. So this is when we talk about Lara becoming one with the jungle.
It's in the back.
And
Sorry, dude.
Lara needing to basically outsmart Trinity because she is outnumbered, she's outgunned, but never outsmarted. She has to use the environment to her advantage, and that means covering herself with mud to blend in, using vine walls as camouflage, striking like a jaguar and then disappearing where the enemy doesn't know what's going on. These are all tactics that Lara uses because, again, she's at the height of her skills. She is, the closest she's ever been to becoming the Tomb Raider, so we have to up the stakes across the board, and that means Lara has to adopt some new skills in order to beat Trinity.
So we can see we're going kind of from cover to cover here to go
Yeah.
through the combat.
Oh, accident. Sorry, mate. You probably were using that heart for stuff. But sorry.
Just tuning in, this is Xbox Live Sessions. We've got Camilla, Luddington, Earl, Baylon was with us a little bit earlier playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Got about 5 minutes left. We're almost wrapped up with the stream, unfortunately.
I bet you can beat this combat. You can do it. You can make
Yeah.
it through. I've got
What, in
confidence
5
this.
minutes?
Yeah.
In 5 minutes, yeah.
Oh, come on.
You've got bags of
possible.
time.
I do not have bags. 5 minutes is never bags of time. You don't know your time.
Bags of time. The one thing about the combat that I really like is
Shove it in your chest, mate. There you go.
it really speaks to Lara's growth as a character in many ways because she's learning again from her environment. There's a moment when a jaguar attacks her. I think you
That's
remember
one of my
that
favorite
scene,
moments,
Camilla.
actually.
Where
Yeah.
the jaguar
I
attacks her
love
and
that
she's
moment.
ready to face it, and you see the resolve in her eyes. But then she realizes that it was just a distraction, and the other jaguar was actually behind her, and she starts to
Clever
use that.
girl.
Clever girl.
Exactly. And she starts to use that against Trinity. And so you just see her, at times we actually refer to Lara as the Jaguar woman because she starts to use that jungle like Trinity is not knowing where it's coming from. It's called fear in combat.
Right.
So you can use arrows that make the Trinity soldiers hallucinate. You can string them up and make their other friends say, "Oh my God, what's happening?" So again, making the Trinity soldiers feel like the jungle's coming alive.
So during the Jaguar attack, is that what it was?
Yes.
During the Jaguar, was there a puppet of a Jaguar, or how did you?
Actually, we used another actor, and he
Steve.
literally crawled.
Steve the Jaguar. Steve, come on in. Jaguar it up.
And he crawled in my face and snarled at me, and there was that moment of,
Okay.
yeah,
Are you still friends now?
we're not friends. That was the last time we were
Because
spoken.
I have
You
gotten
like
to that.
dribbled on me.
I have gotten to one point in the game where you have that moment, and it is in your face. I mean, that's.
It is, yeah, but it
Up
really
close.
helps to have someone in your personal space like that because it does make you react in different ways. And we
Right.
shot it different ways where, like, I would look at him or I would look away,
Right.
and so the end result, I think, I love that moment.
I do too, because it really just shows a couple of things. It shows the jungle almost accepting Lara.
That's
you know,
what I
it's
feel like too.
Not sure what to make of you.
There's a
just
moment
yet.
of like mutual respect
Yes.
happening.
Right.
And it's an interesting moment,
Right.
yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Tum-tum. I'm just slowly
No, you're doing well.
axing everyone in the face.
You're doing well.
Oh,
dear, watch out.
it's fine. No, it's all right.
He just wanted to check his email.
Yeah, I know.
And
Shouldn't have been doing that. Shouldn't be doing that. Get back to work. It's not the time for Facebook.
that's what you get.
All right? That's what you get. Axe in the chest. Get back to
My mom's gonna love these pictures. Oh no!
No, she won't. I'm sure she would have liked you.
Now, anywhere when you're playing the game, anywhere if you're not sure where to go, you can just click in on the right stick, and you'll
Oh, yeah.
see this
Sorry, I'm not
beam
using
or
this
this
at all.
this compass point.
Yeah, I would go up that wall though. That'll
Yeah.
give you a nice vantage.
You
point.
want, it's all about the vantage point, and it's all about the
Yes.
stealth kill like this. Whee! In your face. Sorry, mate. Were you using that jugular?
Although I kind of, with all
No,
due, with
you
all due
weren't.
respect, Julia, I kind of want Camilla. I want to hear those. Ugh. Do you have to make any of those? I know you had the death sounds. With
Do
the,
I have to make any of those? I have to make hundreds of those.
I
Yeah.
just didn't know the aggressive. Ugh.
Are
Yeah.
there any other like casual sounds that you had to make, like other than death sounds?
I don't think anything is casual.
You've got the whole range. I think I love that you have to develop Lara so much. It's like she has to be confident. She has to be
Yeah.
inquisitive at times. She has to be scared
Yeah.
at times. I mean, so you've got to do the whole
Oh,
range.
oh,
because
that's
you
right
never
there.
know what's
Yeah.
going to happen.
Yeah.
Oops.
Got a
Okay.
question.
No,
Here.
bullshit.
Question here
bullshit.
from the chat for Camilla. What do you love most about the character
No.
Lara, and is there anything you would change and why? And that's from Jack Black 310601.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think I have a gun.
I think that I love her imperfections. I think that she's so complicated is what makes her
Oh, no, I didn't.
interesting and relatable. If she was just a cookie cutter heroine, I think to me it wouldn't be as appealing to play.
Right.
That's just selfishly how I feel about her.
Right.
I'm gonna
What
check
would
it out.
I change? I would give her a vacation. Desperately.
She has certainly earned it. She has
yeah,
certainly
but
earned
I
it.
don't
God.
foresee her taking one anytime soon.
Oh, death.
That's all. You did well in that combat. That was well done.
You want to do it?
Here we go.
All right.
Okay.
I think you're absolutely right, Camilla. What I love about the narrative is that we took some risks with Lara in terms
Yeah.
of presenting her in a way that you wouldn't normally think and
Yeah.
showing those
Of course.
imperfections.
Yeah.
We always wanted her feeling relatable. So we've
Yeah.
never tried to make her feel
family show.
Teflon.
Yeah.
But in this one in particular, the fact that she is so confident in her abilities that it leads her to that mistake, to take the
Yeah.
artifact that triggers the Maya apocalypse.
Yeah.
And then, to me, that aspirational moment of saying, all right, I made a mistake. I have to
Yes.
fix it.
Right.
And Lara saying, I'm going to take it on myself to
Right.
stop the Maya apocalypse.
Right.
That, to me, is what puts so much weight behind the narrative.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm literally not listening to any of your answers right now.
question
I'm
from
so
the chat
sorry.
for Camilla. I know you're a busy actress. What are your latest projects? You have Grays, of course.
I have Grays and I have another cartoon coming out that I can't talk about yet.
Oh,
But will be announced.
I want to see that.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds
Look forward
awesome.
to- How do people keep track of what you're working on? Can you give out your Instagram and so forth?
Instagram at Camilla Luddington.
Okay.
I will post on there when I'm. Of course, we're always keeping everything secret all the time.
Right.
Now it's all out in the open.
This is now
yeah.
out, but other things are not. But I
Yes.
will continue to reveal things on my Twitter and Instagram.
Good. We'll make sure we
Okay.
keep track on that. And then, Rich, how do folks keep up on Tomb Raider? Of course, I'll be doing it every week on This Week on Xbox. And
At Tomb Raider,
At Tomb Raider,
yes.
very simple, very
we
straightforward.
We are in full on give the fans what they want mode. So there is just a ton of stuff happening across the board. We're
Well-
so excited to be in launch mode right now.
We are going to wrap up now. It's just about the top of the hour, so appreciate you guys tuning in to watch the Shadow of the Tomb Raider stream. Julia, thank you so much.
Sorry, I wasn't really listening.
I know
to
you. We only, and I don't know if we're keeping track. I think other than these combat, I think we only died once.
It was an exceptional playthrough, I
Yeah.
have to say.
That was
Well done. Talking and playing at the same time is very difficult.
Yeah.
Kudos.
So
Thanks.
anyway, I want to thank Earl, who had to step away for a minute. We brought you in, Rich. Thanks so much. Of course, Camilla, thank you again.
Thank you
Great to
so
see
much.
you.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Now, just remember, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, you want to give all the details when it's out and what they can do?
Absolutely. Well, September 12th, if you pre-ordered, you've got the early access,
Yep.
and then September 14th,
Yep.
everybody's playing. So
All right, there you
we're
go.
excited.
A lot going on there. All right, we'll see you guys on behalf of everybody here for Xbox Live Sessions. We'll see you next time, right, Julia?
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Rated M for mature.
By taking the key, you set the apocalypse in motion. Do you realize the tragedy you have unleashed?
What have I done?
How many lives have you ended? In pursuit of what?
I won't let you do this. We need to end this.
Pre-order now and play the game early.
Games play best on Xbox One.